Hi family. I'm just rolling up here and I wanted you guys to hang out with me. I've been in deep thought this Leo season because I feel like I was experiencing a lot of ego based emotions. A lot of my emotions were being projected, like, not, I wouldn't say like insecurities, but more so like my wounds were being projected and manifested in a way of it just being ego driven. You know what I mean? And I just wanted to come on here quickly and make like a little message. Those of you who are struggling with either letting go or moving on, okay? I feel like with Venus currently being in the sign of Virgo, there's this need for us to clean up. There's a need for us to acknowledge what we don't need, what's no longer serving us. But there's like an energy here that's telling us to take out the trash. Like it's time to do like a whole spring cleaning when it comes to not only just our love life but our interpersonal relationships, right? So I'm feeling like instead of using Leo's fire to fuel us into believing, well, not believing because we are different and we are like unique and that is important, but instead of using Leo's fiery energy to fuel, resentment or vengeance even, it's important to fuel that into creativity. So let me explain. Right now is a time for us where we are feeling very much so enthusiastic, very much so into our presence, okay? The sun is at home right now in the sign of Leo. Instead of us feeling so, worthy that we need to go ahead and chop people's head off from the past or things of the sort, it's important for us to channel this energy into moving forwards, into creating a even more beautiful, even more harmonious future for ourselves, life for ourselves. Leo is all about creativity, bringing life into this world, right? So I was just thinking about all the times that I've let the past fuel hatred into like my level up, because like as a Scorpio, like I do end up kind of thriving on pain. Well, not thriving on pain necessarily, but I just am put in this position where I need to transmute the energy of pain and suffering into something greater, into a rebirth, into some type of transformative phase, so that I can like overcome certain things, because some things are just too painful to be sitting in, okay? But that's like the energy that I want you guys to be embodying during this time. I feel as though this is a time of forgiveness, but just most of all a time of letting go. I feel as though it's a time for us to stop allowing our hurt fuel our future, fuel, be the main motivation behind the things that we say. Mercury and Leo, yes, we want to advocate for ourselves during this time, but that doesn't mean that we need to rehash things from the past. Like we can keep things pushing, but like have a different attitude towards things this time around that would involve us being strong and being resilient and also being graceful, okay? So it's time for us to be tasteful in the way that we approach our level up, in the way that we're approaching the next phases of our lives. I actually like wanted to write down like a few words in my journal. I don't know if I'll like feel comfortable reading the whole thing, but basically I was just speaking here about how putting yourself back into the past puts you in a state of danger almost, okay? When we are in danger, we are triggered, obviously, because we are now in a situation where we have little to no control, right? You are in danger if someone is, following you at night. You're in danger if, I don't have to get into all of the scenarios that we imagine for ourselves, because apparently I'm not the only one that like imagines brutal things happening to themselves. Anyways, I'll keep my Scorpio thoughts to myself. But what I'm saying here is when you put yourself back into the past, you're putting yourself into a situation that you can no longer change. And that is a very powerless position to be in. And since Leo is all about power and taking ownership and taking space, right? It's not really going to be healthy for us to be focusing on the things we cannot change, because then we're going to be like, you know what? F them. And you know what? F their family too. And you know what? I'm going to really pop off on this person. Or I'm really going to, tell this job how I really feel. Okay? It's not about being fake, okay? But it's about being mature. I feel as though because the lion is the king of the jungle, that's a huge responsibility, okay? If you are the most powerful. I don't know if the lion is the most powerful in the animal kingdom. I don't know nature like that. But if you're one of the most powerful animals, beasts in the kingdom, you can't just be out here getting upset over petty shit. The sun shines no matter what. It could be a cloudy day, the sun is still there. The sun is still showing up for itself, okay? If the people on earth and the plants are not appreciating the sun and all the nutriments that it's giving, the life that it brings, then the sun doesn't just go cry about it. Okay, so this is also about our self-worth. You recognizing your self-worth is enough. Because guess what? It's going to scare away all the people that are not meant for you, all the situations and dynamics that don't put you in a place of self-respect, that don't reflect where you are wanting to go in your path. And that's another thing that I was speaking about in my journal, was about why would I want something that the universe knows is not good for me. And this is where faith comes into play, because a lot of us have control issues when it comes to what we want, right? I'm the type of person, it could be my Sag placements, I just feel as though I'm deserving of everything that I want. However, what I'm learning this Leo season is that not everything I want is good for me, not everything I want is healthy for me, not everything I want is fulfilling for me. Now that I know my self-worth, now that I am confident, now that I am eager to show myself to the world, to showcase my abilities, is it really the time to be holding on to things that diminish my light? Is it really time for me to be holding on to things that I cannot change, things that make me feel powerless, things that make me feel uncertain, things that make me feel heavy? Okay, because that's another thing. There's so much weight to all the things that we are carrying, energetically, physically. There's weight to it. You know what I'm saying? Let's see, what else do I have? Why would I want something that does not nurture or fulfill me? Okay, there's so many things that the universe is able to bless us with, like things that we haven't even imagined yet for ourselves, things that we didn't even think were possible. These are things that the universe can bring our way. It's not going to just shower us with like a bunch of things if we are unable to let go. It has to be an equal exchange also. The universe needs to know that that you have faith in it, so that it can also reward you and you can reap these benefits. Because if you trust something, if you trust someone, that means that you trust that they're always going to do you good, right? They'll always be loyal to you. They'll always have your best intentions at heart. They're not going to be manipulating you. They're not going to be playing you, nothing like that. The universe wants the same type of relationship with you, okay? If you feel as though you have an inner knowing, okay, that the universe will always provide for you, no matter the lesson, no matter the blessing, you're on the right path. Like, that's just where the faith comes into play. And I feel as though also, my main message also, you shine so bright once you let go of all these heavy burdens. You shine so bright once you embrace your authenticity and once you embrace your path, your spiritual path, right? Because we're all on this earth having different experiences. We're all here for different reasons. Of course, we can help one another and we have similarities here and there. We connect with our soul tribe and things like that. But at the end of the day, we come in here alone and we leave alone. We are purposeful. We are abundant. We are deserving. It's a lot of things that you deserve simply for being alive right now. You understand? Things like love and healthy relationships and enjoyment, pleasure, things like that. These are all things that are your birthright. Okay? Let's see, what else did I have? This is a sanctuary. This is our home, okay? Leo is very protective. Leo is very fierce, right? The lion is going to do anything to protect its cubs. The lion will do everything to protect its territory as well, okay? And this is another thing that I want you to know. I want you to walk in your truth, knowing that no one can stand in between anything. No one can decide that they can just break your home, break your foundation. No one can decide that they can just, one bad word or one bad experience and you're back to square one. Your foundation is stable. You understand? This is one thing that we're really going to be solidifying this Leo season, is our foundation, our home, our sanctuary. Because Leo comes right after Cancer, and Cancer is the home. Cancer is, emotional fulfillment. Cancer is all the things that is sacred and our sanctuary, right? The womb, things of the sort. So making sure that we have a healthy home situation, internally within our soul, our spirit is sitting right within ourselves, that lets us know that whatever happens, we're going to be okay. Nothing is ever going to steer us away from our path. Nothing is ever going to be able to get in between ourselves and spirit, ourselves and our journey. Nothing can destroy our foundations unless we choose to rebuild. And I think there's a lot of power in understanding that, truly understanding the value of being your own person, being able to provide for yourself, being able to raise above anything that happens. You know what I mean? Instead of being resentful for the things that you had to experience, for the things that you had to learn the hard way. It's a bittersweet lesson. It's a bittersweet situation to find yourself in, understanding that the universe still loves you, is still looking after you. There was just some things that were kind of difficult, some things that were kind of unpleasant. And that doesn't mean that you're a bad person, doesn't mean that you are on the wrong track, doesn't mean that life is always going to be like this. It's always going to be ups and downs, okay? But internal peace is something that you always have control over at the end of the day, because you're a lion. No one's gonna try to mess with the lion also, okay? So there's a reason for that. When you own your light, when you own your truth, everything else just falls into place somehow. Okay? And having faith in the universe, having faith in your story, having faith in your journey, this all helps it come together. Okay? So I just wanted to share that with you, and I love you so much.